All right, good evening and welcome back to our channel Princess Seats. Today still remains the 18th of August 2025, and it's uh, a night news. And I feel strongly that this could really have some relationship with our expectations because just a couple moments ago, there was a news that came in from Pulse and also from channels that sparked some curiosity and also some elation within the Nigerian ecosystem. And the headline, it has a tagline of the federal government cash transfer plan and the awaited disbursement, how they connect. We want to see how we can possibly marry this particular statement. The way it sounds is there was a report from Pulse Nigeria that caught the attention of a lot of Nigerians, and the headline was clear that the federal government has announced plans to disburse cash transfers to 2.2 million poor households across Nigeria before the end of August as part of efforts to cushion the effects of poverty. Alright, in case you're new here, just do subscribe to our channel Princess Sit and hit the bell so you don't miss out on vital updates. Now, this announcement it kind of immediately sparked discussions, especially among Nigerians who have for months been expecting disbursement tied to this grant, to the palliatives, to different empowerment programs. And the question on the minds of a lot of people right now is so simple. Could this be the same disbursement we have been waiting for? Now, to answer this question, we need to look at the bigger picture of Nigerians' current economic condition. The promises made by the government and the many expectations that is surrounding disbursements that have kept millions hopeful at a time like this. First and foremost, the economic hardship in the country. As we know that Nigeria is facing one of the toughest economic challenges in its modern history. The prices of goods and services have skyrocketed due to inflation, the removal of fuel subsidies, the floating of the naira have further increased the cost of living. And families who could barely survive before now are now struggling even more. So we know that this is why any announcement about cash transfers or government intervention or government support at this time quickly goes viral. And people are desperate for relief, and rightly so. It's not just about laziness or depending on the government. It's about survival. Nigerians want to see the government demonstrate care through real actions, not just promises. Then the federal government's promise of cash transfers, as it was stated clearly, of the plans they have to disburse this cash to 2.2 million poor households before the end of August. And this is part of their strategy to reduce poverty and also soften the harsh effects of economic reforms. And this type of intervention is not new, so we may know that previous governments have also carried out cash transfer programs under various names like the conditional cash transfers called the CCT. The Empower also was part of it, and some other social intervention schemes within the country. However, the difference now is the urgency of need, because people are expecting relief immediately, not just in months to come. So let's connect this to the disbursement that a lot of Nigerians have been waiting for, if possibly we could. The much talked about grants these empowerment packages we are all in expectation of, and other support schemes promised by both local and international bodies. And we know that for months, the grant community, years precisely, in Nigeria has been full of speculations. The grant ecosystem have been filled with expectations and frustrations as well, that a lot of individuals, families registered under different platforms waiting for promised disbursements that have been delayed multiple times. NGOs, churches, mosques, even influential individuals have also been at the center of this waiting game. For example, we've heard about NGOs that are still with partners, promises, huge grants to empower everyone, small businesses, even government-backed reliefs. Yet, time and time again, deadlines come and go, and nothing tangible happens. And this at a time like this has left a lot of people at a crossroad, and it has left them wondering whether this grant would ever come, or whether the noise, all this noise, was just another cycle of empty promises. Could it be? Now to the main question. Is the government's new announcement the same as this disbursement that we have been waiting for? Well, the truth is that while the two of them may not be exactly the same, they are still closely related. And the reason is this. I'm going to state it for us clearly. Both our expectation and this announcement are targeted at poor households. In other words, the government's announcement clearly states that the money will go to the poor households, which is also the main target of these grant and empowerment schemes. Secondly, this both expectation and also these promises are meant to cushion poverty. So whether it is our awaited NGO disbursement or the government's cash transfer, the ultimate goal is to reduce poverty and also give people financial relief. Then the timing now, and you know that just within this month alone, we've had promises that August is going to be an August month of delivery of this long anticipated disbursement. So the timing of this government's announcement and our expectations aligns together. For years, Nigerians have been told to wait for disbursement. And now, as the government sets a deadline of before the end of August, it sounds very similar to the timeline the public have been hoping for. The timing of expectation. And we also know that this is a share funding sources. It's possible that the grant that we have been waiting for is connected to the government's broader social intervention funds. Sometimes international donors, the NGOs, and also the government, they work hand in hand to channel money to citizens. So what looks like separate programs may actually be one and the same. Now, why the announcement is very significant at this time, I don't want to just see it as a headline, beg your pardon. It is very significant for different and several reasons. It is meant to restore our hope back, for millions of households who have been waiting for months. And this is coming from the federal government, and it's carried by some respected media outlet, the Pulse News, the Channels News. It also gives more credibility to this message than just vague WhatsApp broadcast. So the deadline, now also looking at the deadline, the phrase before the end of August, is very crucial, very important. And that is what we want to hear. This is providing a timeline right now, which is exactly what people have been demanding, what they want to hear. So, while this is a good news anyway, Nigerians also know that promises do not always translate into actions. There are possible challenges, some transparency issues. Will the money truly reach the poor households? Or we pray that corruption will not swallow this, God forbid. So, 2.2 million households, 2.2, disbursing funds. All of us are meant to receive these funds. And this is why those waiting for disbursement we must be cautiously optimistic. Yes, hope is important, but there is a need for accountability. Those in the government, in the grant community rather, need to see this announcement as part of the larger puzzle. The loud promises of grants from NGOs, Apostle Ken-led programs, and different platforms may all be tied to this federal government's actions and plans. So think about it. The delays may have been due to a lot of things, and the government might have been working with multiple partners behind the scenes, just as we were told, and which explains why no clear communication was given to all of the waiting Nigerians up till now. And now that the government has made a public announcement, this could mean the final stage of all the previous promises that have been made. In other words, the noise, the waiting, the confusion may have been steps leading to this moment. So I want to encourage you, as this news spreads, we have some important role to play. We should stay alert. We should follow verified updates in this channel. We should be patient. We should understand the massivity of this disbursement logistics and what it takes to be here in the first place. We also demand transparency and fairness. We want to hold the leaders accountable to their words as we prepare wisely for this. So let's not forget that cash transfer alone cannot solve Nigeria's poverty problem. They are only short-term relief measures, but what we're expecting, the long-term change that Nigeria needs, job creation. So for those who are within the pioneer wing, your fund meant for project, ensure to carry out this project. It's going to be support for all and sundry, better infrastructures, not just archaic ones, solid ones, So let's just focus. If this is it, let's just focus and give thanks and pray that it is by God's grace. So it may be directly connected to this disbursement that Nigerians, all of us are waiting for. But while we cannot say with absolute certainty that this is the exact same disbursement, the similarities also are too strong to ignore, because they are both focusing on the poor households, and they are both promising financial relief, and they are both aiming to cushion the effects of poverty within this ecosystem. So this news should be taken seriously. Nigerians must remain very hopeful, but also demand accountability. If the government follows through, this could finally mark the beginning of the long-awaited relief for every one of us. If not, it risks also deepening the frustration of millions who have already waited too long at this time. In the end, what matters most is that the money truly reaches the people who needs it. And if this happens, Then, this long season and this long waiting, the endless discussions in the grand community, the air pulling, the nose drawing, the hair jacking, and the patience that leads to endurance of a lot of Nigerians would not have been in vain after all. Yes, so let's put our minds together, put every pieces, the fragments, just put them together and trust in God that this August would be a blessed month for us. Thank you very much. I'm already feeling a little bit dizzy, so it's almost night time. I wish you a lovely night rest. Go to bed, pray, and waking up tomorrow should be good news. All right, by God's special grace. Thank you very much. In case you are new, just subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on vital updates. When we drop one for you, you have one also from us. Thank you very much and have a nice night rest. Good night.